in the world did we just witness? Hello there, this is K-Dog, and we just concluded AEW Dynasty. This is literally like 10 minutes right after Dynasty. Come here, come right now. What did we just witness? Did we witness the resurgence of AEW? Because for the past few months, AEW has been on a major decline. And me, myself included, has been very vocal and very critical about the company because they've been doing a lot of big mistakes. Like at the last pay-per-view for Revolution, yes, you had two banger of a match. Like if you guys saw my Revolution review and you saw that I mentioned that the women's title was like match of the night. A close second was a steel cage match, but then they ruined it because I mainly was talking about Moxley and Edge, or Moxley and Cope, right? And in that, I mentioned that that match alone killed everything. It ruined the entire thing. Go back prior to that. What happened with the world title? Another screwy finish. What was going on Dynamites in the past few months? Boring segments, this, that, and the third. Useless things, right? But did tonight revitalize that? Because last week's Dynamite, they did kind of do things right. They did. It was better. It was a little bit above average, okay? So it was a picked up Dynamite, right? And then going into tonight, AEW Dynasty, it was a perfect, it wasn't the perfect, but it was a good go-home show. They closed it off with a teaser between Swerve and Hangman. So you knew something was going to happen. You knew something was up. But let's go right into Dynasty and see. Did it deliver? We had our 0 hour match. Now, I didn't watch the first 0 hour match because I came in later because I'm like, whatever. But I got into the Max Caster Open Challenge. And my word, Anthony Bowens. I kind of figured Anthony Bowens was going to take the challenge because on Dynamite, Max Caster kept saying, what has my partner done? What has Bowens done since we broke up? Nothing. I haven't seen him since. So I kind of figured, if they're saying there's a 0 hour open challenge, yeah, it's Anthony Bowens. Quick 1 minute match. Boom. Rolling elbow. 1, 2, 3. I was like, yes, Bowens. Yes. Because I'm getting annoyed of Max Caster with the I'm the best wrestler alive. And he's trying to get the best wrestler alive chant over. Kind of getting tired of that. I'm getting really annoyed of that because he comes in saying, let's chant best wrestler alive. Max, you're the... No, you're not. And the crowd tonight said, shut the F up. And I'm like, please, yes, please. But anyway, now it was perfect. They're going to have a storyline probably set up going into Dynamite. So I'm looking forward to that. Am I going to rate this? Not really, because it wasn't really anything to rate. We'll just call it a 3 down the board. Anyways, now we go into the actual pay-per-view, the start of Dynasty. We have our opening match is the Owen Hart Cup match. Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight's debut as an AEW wrestler. By the way, welcome to AEW, Kevin Knight. The only thing I want to say is, why didn't Kushida come? But maybe they only wanted Kevin Knight, or maybe Kushida re-signed with New Japan. I don't know. Anyway, but welcome to AEW, Kevin Knight. This match, highlight reel after highlight reel, because when you watch a Will Ospreay match, it's highlight reel galore. You watch Kevin Knight, he's also a highlight reel star. So many, and there were so many near falls in this match too, like obvious, But at the end of the day, Will Ospreay hits his moves, hits the hidden blade, 1, 2, 3, boom. Great opening, 3.75 stars. Now we go into match 2, the AEW Tag Team titles. We have the Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Trees, Big Bill and Brian Keith. Now, this match was average. It wasn't the greatest match, it was average. Near the end of the match, we saw MJF come in. But before all that, we saw everyone get in their moves, little spots, little here, little there as the tag team goes. They're all outside. MJF comes in, sneaks in, punches Big Bill with that Dynamite Diamond ring, throws him back into the ring, helps the Hurt Syndicate. Hurt Syndicate wins 1, 2, 3. I give this a 3-star. Average. Now, what does it mean for MJF, he's trying. I'm going to say he's trying hard enough to get in line and get to be part of the Hurt Syndicate. Because he wants to be a part of the Hurt Syndicate. I feel like there's a storyline that they're going to be telling there. And they use the learning tree to progress that MJF Hurt Syndicate storyline. Because he's trying to impress Bobby Lashley. Because apparently he's already impressed MVP. But MVP's like, well, if Lashley doesn't... So I feel like there's a story going into that. And I think it's going to lead into All In with something's going to blow up. Or after All In. I don't know. Anyway, let's go into match number 3. By the way, you guys, let me know. What do you think is going to happen with the MJF and Hurt Syndicate thing? Let me know. I want to know your thoughts, where they're going to go with that. And we got another Owen Hart Cup match. This is the women's match. I'm going to skip it right there because F Mercedes Moné. Seriously, F that piece of crap. No ratings. I didn't watch the match. All I know is she shouldn't have won, period. BS booking right there because Tony Khan doesn't understand that. Yes, there are some fans, but the wrestlers have stated how much they have disdain for her. And there's a lot of fans that don't like her. And plus, Julia Hart is... But anyways, I see you paid her a lot of money. Get your money's worth out of it. But whatever. I personally just can't stand Mercedes Moné. So, next, we had the Trios title. We had Rated FTR versus Death Riders. I know. Death Riders have major heat on them. They should have lost the belt. But the finish was not bad. The finish, I get it. Like, okay. Throughout the entire match, fans are chanting, F you, Yuta. There was a lot of moments where they were back and forth, inside the ring, outside the ring. Death Riders doing heelish things to try to screw over Rated FTR. But if you look at the finish, I'm going to give this match a 3.25 stars. The finishes adds a little bit more. I'm actually glad they didn't break up FTR as it looked like it was going to happen. But instead, FTR turns heel and turns on Copeland. Now, am I a fan of this? I wish Rated FTR won the belt, but they didn't. Now, where are we going with this with Copeland now? I have a feeling, this is what I feel. The reason why they did what they did with FTR was that Copeland wanted some time off, some long time away, like really long time. So they're like, all right, this is how we're going to do it. FTR turn heel, beat the crap out of Adam Copeland, decapitate him, send him out in the hospital, okay? FTR is now a heel. I'm here for it. I'm here for a heel FTR run. That kind of overshadowed the match, so that's why I'm going to give it a pass, and I'm going to be like, okay, at least they managed to overshadow it and make us forget about the Death Rider. So 3.25 stars. Then we had the AEW Women's title match. Megan Bayne versus Toni Storm. And oh my freaking God, timeless Toni Storm was amazing in this match. She comes out dressed up as Rocky from Rocky 3. Luther comes out dressed up as Mikey from Rocky 3. And I was like, yes, you're in Philly. You've got this gimmick going. This is beautiful. This was like, and they both acted like Rocky 3. Like Luther was very Mickey at the ringside. Commentary kept referencing Rocky 3, Thunder Lips, moments in Rocky with, like, oh, she's cornered, and I was like, yo, this is beautiful. This was amazing, and I'll say this, I'm not a fan of Megan Bayne. I can't stand her. I find her boring. But Toni Storm brought the best out of Megan Bayne and made Megan Bayne actually say, hey, I'm going to try for once, It was amazing, move set after move set, back and forth. And I even liked that when Megan Bayne tried to get help and cheat, Luther's like, and then turns around and looks at Toni and goes, you got this, Toni. And I'm like, yes, Luther, yes. I loved every minute of this match. And the fans chanting, "This is wrestling." Yeah, this is wrestling. This was legitimate what wrestling is. I give this a 4.25 stars. And by the way, this is the third time in a row, 3 pay-per-views in a row where a women's title match so far is really high up there and so far better than your men's world heavyweight title. That should kind of say something. And I like the roll-up. I do. I like the roll-up. The way they did the roll-up was beautiful because it doesn't really hurt Megan Bayne as much, and it fits in line with Toni Storm's gimmick where, that old school 1930s, 1940s, like early day female wrestler. So I get it where the roll-up came in because Megan Storm kicked out of the Storm Zero. Megan Bayne tried to get back in and bam, roll-up. So that was perfect. This is wrestling. 4.25 stars. Then we get into our next match. We had another Owen Hart match. We had Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. Okay, I'm only giving you this pause because I want you to realize this is their fourth match with each other. Were the previous matches better than this one? Were they not? You be the judge. I'm going to say on par, 3.5 stars, because every match I've ever watched between them, I've always given it 3.5 stars, right? But I do like how early on in the match they did some crazy spots. Briscoe brings in a chair as usual. The chair run, flip over, but doesn't end up doing it. But instead, Kyle Fletcher hits a German suplex on Mark Briscoe onto the chair, and I'm like, ooh, a little bit, ooh, Another thing that they did when they were outside the ring, I was like, I kind of cringed, and I was like, oh, oof. The very top of the barricade, Kyle Fletcher slams Mark Briscoe right onto it, like a suplex on it. Like, I get it, Briscoe had his arms out like this, but still, I was like, ooh, that's gotta hurt the upper back. Ugh. I was like, but still, it was a cool spot. And then everybody showcasing what they could do. Mark Briscoe hitting not one but two froggy bows to no avail. And then we finish it with Brainbuster on the top turnbuckle. Not from the top turnbuckle, onto the top turnbuckle. 1, 2, 3, Kyle Fletcher, and I get him. If you're trying to build Kyle Fletcher, you need him to beat somebody like Mark Briscoe. You need him to advance. I feel Kyle Fletcher will advance and go all the way to the finals of the Owen Hart Cup. Will he win? No, because they're going to give it to Will Ospreay. I feel like that's where the men's final is going to go. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, because they're both 1-1. Literally, they're 1-1. So this is where they're going to have their rubber match. Now we go into the Ring of Honor World title. A great match ruined by a screwy, dumb finish. AEW has a history of doing that. When will Tony Khan learn screwy, dumb finishes don't work? They may work for a very, very rare specific instance. Not here. This was supposed to be a 3.75 star match. I'm going to drop this down to a 2.5 because the match was still good, but I didn't like where the referee was taken out, and then Jericho uses the bat, gets the pin, only for Mama Bandito to come in and say, no, 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 no. Here, Audrey grabs a bat. I'm like, oh my God. Could you not just have Bandito just kick out? Because we had Jericho crawl for like 30, 40 seconds. I'm like, oh my goodness. Could you not just kick out and continue? It would have made Bandito look stronger. Would have made Bandito look better. Because the entire the match was amazing. Like, for example, the beginning of the match. Bandito, one of his moves. He'll do a suplex, but he'll hold you for a 10 count and then drop you. But this time he held Jericho for a 1 minute count. For a whole minute in a vertical suplex position. Bandito did a lot of crazy offensive moves. He did a lot of this and that. We also saw Gravity return to help, whatever interferences were going on. I was like, this match is great. Why do you have to go about this stupid finish? Seriously. Please. I get it. Tony. You don't care about ROH. So why buy ROH if you don't even care for ROH? Like, seriously, the legacy of ROH has been ridden to what? Back alley? I'm sorry, but I like Bandito. I like Jericho. Also, Jericho, please. It's time for you to retire. Whenever your AEW contract, please don't sign another contract. Your time is up. I'm being serious. You may be great on the mic. You may know how to put people over, but sorry. Please. And Bandito, you could do better. And Tony, please stop screwing ROH over. Please. I'm a big ROH guy. I'm sorry, but you. Anyways, we're going into the next one. A TNT title match. Adam Cole versus defending champion Daniel Garcia. And I'm only giving you this face because I'm like defending champion. Like, when was the last time he defended that belt? How long ago was it? And also, when did they even announce this match other than when they were in a tag match and all? They stared down. I'm like, so this match was almost like a random match where it's like, hey, randomly here's your challenger, and you sit back and go, do I remember when the last time? I don't even remember. Can anyone recall the last time Daniel Garcia defended that belt? I'm being honest. That's why I was like, anyways. But this match was not bad. It was average. It was 3 stars. They put their moves in. They did this. He did that. To finish it, Garcia does the Panama Sunrise into the boom drop to no avail. Adam Cole gets up, double Panama, boom drop, 1, 2, 3. Good finish. I like that finish, but 3 stars. And I'm like, Adam Cole's a TNT champion. Problem is too many belts. You end up slipping away some of them, so I get it. But I hope Adam Cole brings the belt back up because, prior to that, you had guys like Darby, Brody Lee, Miro. I can keep going on with a list of wrestlers who made that belt meaningful, and then Garcia. Anyway, let's go into the co-main event of the evening. The AEW International Championship. We had the 3-way dance, as they like to call it. Ricochet versus Speedball Mike Bailey and Kenny Omega, the International Champion. Oh my holy goodness. This was Wrestling 101. Wrestling at its finest. Oh my God. This match was beyond amazing. They made everybody look good. Everybody got their spots in. Everybody got to showcase everything. Everybody got to do. They made Ricochet. They made Speedball and Kenny look big. Speedball's debut pay-per-view. Wow. Speedball went from here to rocket. Ricochet went from I'm climbing to rocket. Kenny Omega went from I've already rocketed in here. Now, guess what? I've rocketed out of here. This was a very, very good match. And I like the way they started where Ricochet, the heel, I'm not coming in the ring. Perfect. Typical heel. Comes in after 2-3 minutes, fully embracing the match. Good heel tactics. I like commentary, how he goes on commentary. Well, I do like it that Ricochet at one point went on commentary, started making commentary about himself. And I'm like, isn't this a throwback to Booker T in TNA when he was King of the Mountain winner? Yeah, this was. Except the difference was Booker T grabbed the mic and started commentating his match versus Ricochet was there. I was like, yo, this is pretty cool. I like this. And I like the fact that Speedball just kicks him in the face and just yells, shut up. You could kind of catch, if he caught the glimpse as he kicked him, he just yelled, shut up. I'm like, this is funny. I like so many of the false finishes, so many of the, oh my God. And this match could have gone on for another 30, 40 minutes. I wouldn't have mind. I like everybody hitting their spots. I like how they finished it where Omega hits the Avalanche One Winged Angel. Why? Because it choked. Because he tried and tried to no avail. He's hit the V trigger. He's hit other moves. He's hit multiple Snapdragon suplexes. But the avalanche, one-winged angel, was what he needed to hit on Ricochet. And I'm glad he hit it on Ricochet and not on Speedball. At least it protects Speedball. I give this match of the night 4.5 stars. Listen to that, 4.5 stars, match of the night. Now, can the main event live up to this? We'll find out. I don't know. You be the judge of the main events. I don't know. Because before making this video, before making this video, I quickly went in to just see some people's reactions. So there's mixed reactions. There's some loves, there's some hates, there's some in between. But you be the judge. You let me know what you thought of the main event. What you thought, how everything went out. Because we got the main event. Swerve Strickland versus current AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Match was a banger from beginning. Yes, it was. We had so many moments. We had so many big spots. Yes, near the end. Not the end, but near the end, we got even bigger spots with like Swerve hitting the Swerve Stomp while Moxley was on the ladder right through the announce table. Beautiful. We had moments where Marina Shafir gets involved. Okay, I get it. Then we had Prince Nana getting involved. I get it. Because these two are getting involved trying to stop each other. That's fine. I do like where the ref was taken out by a chair. Okay, that's fine because I get it. It's Moxley. You got to have something screwy going on. But that's fine. We had Hangman come out, which alludes to Wednesday. Dynamite alludes to Swerve apologizing and agreeing with Hangman, and Hangman giving him the pass, accepting the apology and giving him that pass. So you're thinking, okay, he's here to help Swerve, but he looks at Swerve and gives him an angry look, but then looks at Mox, then Swerve, then stares down at Mox, but the Death Riders come in and get involved. And then we had Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata come in, literally take out Death Riders. So like, all right, I'm liking where this is. The ref's still out. Then lights out. We're like, oh crap, something's gonna happen. Young Bucks are here. Now, this isn't my bias. This is not me being biased because Young Bucks are my favorite tag team of all time. No, this is actually very good because there's two reasons for it. For people who don't know where this story was going, was that the Young Bucks played us that they were done with wrestling. Because you see the YouTube channel that they started, that they're doing travel vlogs. They just want to travel the world and vlog their traveling, right? They played it off where it's like, we don't talk about that anymore. We call that our past life. We're enjoying this. I love this more. I'm glad we're doing this. I enjoy more time with my family. So they kind of played it off like we don't care about wrestling. We're done with the wrestling kind of deal. And nothing's wrong with that. They're both 40 years old, 40, 39, 40, 41ish, and that. So and they've been in the business since they were 18, 19 years old. So I totally can believe them that they could have been done, right? This is not my bias. Again, the whole alluding to the whole Swerve and Hangman now on good terms and agreeing and like this. Remember, Hangman before the Bucks left, way before the Bucks left, had some beef with the Young Bucks still. He did. Swerve kind of got in the Bucks' face a little bit. He did. But they kind of let that go because they were too busy with Hangman. Then Hangman said, screw this, and went after Swerve, right? So think about this logically. There was storytelling. This is long-term storytelling here. Now I've been hearing from some people saying Swerve should have won the belt. I agree. Swerve should have won the belt. But if they were going with this route, I understand why they did what they did. I 100% understand why they had the Bucks take out Swerve and then run away and look down at Swerve and Hangman both. I understand it because if Swerve were to win the world title, you still would not give a damn about the world title. They still would have devalued and degraded the world title. I'm being honest, because this whole story is leading to Hangman and Swerve versus the Young Bucks. Where would the world title be? Nowhere. Next pay-per-view is what? Double or Nothing, right? No world title. All In happens. No world title. So it makes sense, but obviously, did I want Moxley to lose the belt? Yeah, I did. I'm getting tired of Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley has go-away heat. The Death Riders have go-away heat. But I understand why they did what they did and where they're going. If you guys understand long-term storytelling, this was long-term storytelling 101. Made you forget and made you believe things. The Young Bucks made you believe so much. And guess what? Made you completely forget Moxley was even in this match. Seriously, because what are people talking about? The Young Bucks returning. People are talking about Swerve being attacked by the Young Bucks. Hangman and Swerve against the Young Bucks. People forgot about Mox. Who cares? Obviously, is that good look on the world title? No, it's not a good look on the world heavyweight title. It ain't good for AEW's main event scene, but should tell you something. I'm going to give this match a 3.75 stars. I'm being serious. Now, obviously, if Swerve would have won and none of this would have happened, I still would have understood. But I understand everything they're going for. If you guys look deep into it, like I did, if you look at every little context clue, it makes 100% sense. And I promise you, this Wednesday, we're going to get answers, and it's going to make even more sense than ever. Anyways, what did you guys think of tonight's pay-per-view? What did you guys think of Dynasty? What did I think? Is this a redemption arc? Why, yes, it's a redemption arc for the... Actually, no. It's a potential if they keep it going on Dynamite. If they don't, well, they just flop. So they got to keep this going on Dynamite or it'll just mean nothing. But I feel like this is the redemption arc for AEW. What do you think? Is this a redemption arc? Let me know in the comment section below. Did you like tonight's Dynasty? What did you think? Do you think AEW's now going to go back up? Because last week's Dynamite had a 500,000 increase in viewers. Tonight's Dynasty had a great pre-buy rate. So will they keep this going? Will this be the climb? Who knows? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, if you guys like wrestling, you guys like video games, and you like movies, well, this is the channel for you. You see the red button over here, right? This one. Over here somewhere. Where is it? Over here, right? This one. The red button here. Make sure that turns gray when you smash that, and smash the bell button to be notified when we upload new videos, and share these videos around. Share everything around. Tell your friends about Retromaniatron. Anyways, remember, as always, enjoy your life. Keep on collecting. We'll see y'all for another video.